Okay guys, welcome to Junior Fixer. Here in our tutorial we are going to perform our CRUD operation. So over here in our project you can see the buttons here. If you want to trigger the on-click event of any item in the form, you're going to double click it. So over here I'm going to double click on add, and it's going to open the on-click event or the on-click function for the add button. But before we add any student into the database, we're going to check if our fields are not empty, because the fields over there are all required fields. So first we're going to check if they are not empty. But first we have to open the connection. So we're going to say db dot open connection. Alright, then we're going to say MySQL command. MySQL command. Okay, of course we've not imported MySQL, so we're going to see this also. If you press Alt and enter, we're going to see these options. So we need MySQL.data.mysql client, so we're going to click it and it's going to import that for us. You see the error is gone using this. Okay, so we're going to say if student id text, because that's the value of that field is not empty, and name text is not empty, and email text is not empty, and prog test is not empty. They're going to say if it is not empty, then the person can go ahead and do what we are coming to say. Else we are going to say message box dot show complete every field. Meaning all the text boxes are required. You need to fill those forms before you can proceed. So if they are filled, then we're going to say try okay, we're going to say try string query. First we're going to check if the student that we're going to add is not already in the database. So we're going to say count query is equal to select count MySQL command for counting. Select count all from the table student, where SID, the column there, the name of that column is SID, is equal to, now watch it carefully. MySQL prefers we use single quotation whenever we are bringing in a variable. Now C# also requires us to use double quotation when we are doing string concatenation. So we're going to bring plus double quotation then single quotation. So student ID id test dot text. So what we want to do is we are trying to count the instances in the table where the student ID that we will provide is equal to the student ID or a student ID in the table, or we are trying to check if there is a student ID like what we are trying to type here or what we are trying to give in the table. So over here we're going to say command here, this one, command is equal to new MySQL count query, going to say db dot connection. db dot connection is here. This is it. Okay, so we're going to say int 32 count is equal to convert dot to int 32 of command dot execute scalar. Execute scalar actually brings out or provides us the number of items or the number of rows in this query. And over here we are trying to convert it to an integer because it provides us it provides the data in a string form, so we want to convert it to an integer. And we're going to say if the count is greater than 0. If the count is greater than 0, then it means the student is already in the database, so we are going to say message box dot show student already exists. Then we close the connection, db.close connection. If that's not the case, then we go ahead and add the student. So we're going to say string query is equal to string query is equal to insert into student values we are going to insert into the student table the values of, so the first one is student ID dot text, and the second one is the name dot text. Then the third one is email dot tests. So we're here going to say prog dot tests. Don't forget this. And of course we are seeing this error because we didn't catch anything here. So we're going to say exception x message box dot show so ex dot message. Yeah, we're going to check the message or the error that will happen when you're trying to insert the student in the database. So over here we're going to say command is equal to new MySQL command. The query here, then db dot connection. Alright, then we're going to say command dot execute query here. This is it. Then we say message box dot show student added successfully. Alright, let's go ahead and close the connection. So say db dot close connection. Alright, so that's all for the insertion or the create. So let's go ahead and test our application. First, let's try and enter something. Let's see. Error occurred trying to connect to database. It means we have an error in our database connection. So let's go and check. Alright guys, so if you've been following the tutorial, it seems like we made a mistake here. Over here is localhost, and look what we wrote here, localhost. Yeah, so that was the error. If we let's rerun the application and let's see what we get. So if I click this, it will tell me to complete everything. So let's say, alright, and here we say anan at email.com. Political science. But we need this. Let me copy it. Student added successfully. Alright, so let's try and add a student. Let's try and add it again. Student already exists. So that's it. Our application is working so perfectly. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next tutorial.